So there comes a point in every artist's career where they have to take a look at everything they're doing, review, and reevaluate maybe anything that isn't working for them, sort of doing a course correcting of some kind. Whether it's, maybe trying a new medium, maybe it's trying less mediums, maybe just trimming the fat. Sometimes it means softening up in your convictions. Sometimes it means toughening up and disciplining yourself to really get the ball rolling on a certain project. Either way, there comes a point where things have to change. And I think I hit that point. And honestly, I've been struggling with it on and off for the last couple years, honestly, of just really having a crazy sword fight with like just burnout and resistance. And I realized that I just have to really reevaluate why I do this, but just also like, just as a whole, like just look at every single part, dissect my process and figure out like, why am I feeling this way? How can I get out of feeling this way? How can I, unstuck myself out of the mud? And I kind of realized that like, there's different things I could try. There's different mediums, there's different tools, different things to get me excited. But what I realized, what was holding me back was the idea that, I had to like really stay concrete in my convictions. So I guess for me, in that multiple choice that I gave you, it was I was personally dealing with needing to soften up a bit. When I first got into cartooning and really art in general, I kind of took like the stoic purist approach, and I wanted to make physical art that you could hold in your hands. And I always personally knocked like using digital as a primary medium. And it's not to disrespect any of my friends or anybody that does do that, because they're smart, they're very useful, and I guess I'll get to that in a second. But for me personally, I really wanted a human touch to what I was doing, and I didn't think that I could achieve that using something like Procreate or Photoshop, which is stupid, which is because a lot of the things that I was looking up to and using as references were at the very least vectorized. Maybe they were drawn beforehand and then vectorized and colored and whatnot, and just the process that they've been making comics with for the last God knows how long, since we've been able to really do this digitally. So I kind of came up with this idea that, like, why don't I just try making some digital comic strips just to introduce some worlds, introduce some things. And maybe that'll help me out in even just getting to just a less burnt out, less friction-ridden process. And what I found was that, this shit ain't easy. This shit takes longer than my black and white stuff. This is crazy. I'm a dumbass. I'm an idiot. I definitely have been hindering myself and shooting myself in the foot by being like, no, pen and paper and, just brick and mortar, and that's it. Because, not only did I spend, this was a 12-hour total process on this one strip alone, but, I really had to think about colors. I had to think about all the kinds of placement. And while, yes, the mechanics made things a little bit easier, there was still so much work that went into this. So I guess what I am really trying to say here is, what I've come to realize in my, I guess at the checkpoint of having to reevaluate and course correct, I was just wrong. And, it doesn't mean that I have to just totally convert to digital, which I don't plan to totally do, but I just had fun doing this. I had a blast doing this, and it doesn't feel like this, like, oh man, I got to just keep going and I have to torture myself. It's like, no, I'm actually really excited to get back to making the next one. So I guess if I have any recommendations to someone who's starting out, just keep an open mind. Don't be like me and think that you know everything when you've never drawn a comic in your life and you're in your early 20s. So I hope that this nice little tidbit was helpful in any way, shape, or form, and I'll see you on the next time lapse. Burgerheads, stay